Hello and welcome to another episode of the Expertly German podcast, the podcast to learn German. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Episode des Expertly German Podcast, dem Podcast zum Deutschlernen. In den sauren Apfel beißen. In den sauren Apfel beißen. To bite into the sour apple ist das Sprichwort der Woche, the saying of the week. So what does that mean? In English, you would maybe say something like swallow a bitter pill. You know, when you maybe have to do something that you don't want to do, then you have to bite into the sour apple or you have to swallow the bitter pill. Or maybe you don't have another choice. That's when we would use in den sauren Apfel beißen. For example, the weather is bad at the moment in Germany, storm and so on. And I could say, zum Kaffee zu gehen, muss ich in den sauren Apfel beißen und nach draußen gehen. In order to go to the cafe, I have to bite into the sour apple. I have to swallow the bitter pill to go outside. Well, doesn't really sound that terrible. Anyway, that was just an example. We start today's podcast with an exercise about the Genitivpräpositionen, the genitive prepositions. What does that mean? Exactly what it says. There are prepositions after which we always have to use the genitive case. And we are going to look at 4 of those prepositions today. There are many more, but we have to start somewhere. The first one is während. Während is during. So an example sentence could be: Während meines Urlaubs bin ich oft in Restaurants gegangen. Während meines Urlaubs bin ich oft in Restaurants gegangen. Yeah, so during my holiday, I went to restaurants often, frequently, often, something like that. So here the meines Urlaubs is in the genitive case. So Urlaub is masculine, der Urlaub, and so usually in the nominative we would just say mein Urlaub. However, if we have now the genitive case after während, we use während meines Urlaubs. That's the trick. So that's why they are called genitive prepositions. Next one, wegen. Wegen means because of. For example, wegen des starken Sturms konnte ich nicht in den Park gehen. Again, wegen des starken Sturms konnte ich nicht in den Park gehen. Because of the strong storm, I couldn't go to the park, something like that. So here, des Sturms is the genitive again as well. So the masculine der Sturm changes to des, and also we have an es or an s at the end. In this case, Sturmes, Sturms, you could use both. Usually you choose the one that is better. And then starken is an adjective. What do we do with adjectives? Exactly, we decline them. We adjust the ending, and that's why here it's starken Sturms. Again, wegen des starken Sturms konnte ich nicht in den Park gehen. Next one, trotz. Trotz. So that might actually be already quite difficult to say. Trotz is despite. You write it with a T-R-O-T-Z. Trotz. So despite, for example, trotz des starken Regens bin ich Fahrrad gefahren. Again, trotz des starken Regens bin ich Fahrrad gefahren. Despite the strong rain, I went cycling. Yeah. So here again, Regen, it's also a masculine noun. And then we have des, and starken has an en ending. And the last one, anstatt or Stadt, which means instead of. So not the Stadt like the city, with a DT at the end, but here we just have a Stadt, S-T-A-T-T, Stadt, instead of. For example, ich vertraue lieber deinem Rat statt meiner Intuition oder anstatt meiner Intuition. Again, ich vertraue lieber deinem Rat anstatt oder statt meiner Intuition. I prefer to trust your advice, Rat, yeah, instead of my intuition. Ich vertraue lieber deinem Rat anstatt meiner Intuition. All right, so those were the four words that I wanted to teach you today, the four prepositions after which we have to use the genitive case. Let's repeat them. Während is during, wegen is because of, trotz is despite, and statt is instead of. You can also say anstatt. Okay, let's now do 3 example sentences. I will tell you a sentence in English and you have to translate it into German, obviously using one of the 4 prepositions that we just talked about. Cool. Because of the weather, I can't go outside. Because of the weather, I can't go outside, or I can't go outside because of the weather. How would you say that in German? Exactly, you are a genius. Wegen des Wetters kann ich nicht nach draußen gehen. Yeah, okay, so you might have not known nach draußen, to the outside. Don't worry about that. But if you had wegen des Wetters or wegen des schlechten Wetters or something like that, correct, then perfect. Wegen des Wetters kann ich nicht nach draußen gehen. Okay, you might have now a question, and so you might ask yourself, can I also turn it around? Can I also say, ich kann nicht nach draußen gehen wegen des schlechten Wetters? And you can. The answer is you can just switch it around. So you can put the subject to the end and then wegen des schlechten Wetters, you can put that later on in the sentence. Cool. All right. Second sentence. Many people travel during the summer. Many people travel during the summer. And the answer is während des Sommers reisen viele Menschen. Or viele Menschen reisen während des Sommers. And the last one, I am going to do it despite the difficulties. Okay, what was despite again? Do you know the right answer? I am going to do it despite the difficulties. Trotz der Schwierigkeiten werde ich es machen. Trotz der Schwierigkeiten werde ich es machen. Okay, so Schwierigkeiten here is difficulties, and that's the plural. So the genitive article for plural would be der. So the same for feminine, trotz der Schwierigkeit. If it would be just singular feminine, then the article is der in the genitive. But here we have the plural, so trotz der Schwierigkeiten werde ich es machen. All right, so those are the 5 genitive prepositions that I wanted to teach you today. There are a couple more genitive prepositions which I will put into the transcript of today's lesson, which you can find at buymeacoffee.com. You can buy the transcript for €1 or sign up for the membership for €5, and then you will have access to all past and all future transcripts as well. Just a little reminder, I just launched a 10-week program that teaches you German. There are 2 programs available, one for A1 levels and one for A2 to B1 level. And the good thing about this program is that I will send you material, videos, homework, and quizzes throughout the week when you join the program. And then in the weekly group session, we will discuss the topic that I've sent you per email. So this is a great way to learn by yourself and also to learn it with others and with me and practice speaking, but also learning the grammar at your own pace. I think this is really valuable for people who kind of want to immerse themselves more into the German language in various ways. And the program is also priced pretty well. So go to my website, expertlygerman.com, and click on 10-week program. Okay, let's now continue with the news in German mit den Nachrichten auf Deutsch. The first one is: Ein Sturm jagt den nächsten. Ein Sturm jagt den nächsten. One storm is chasing after the other. Innerhalb von nicht einmal 7 Tagen ziehen gleich 3 Stürme nacheinander durch Deutschland und ganz Europa. Within not even 7 days, 3 storms raged one after another through Germany and all of Europe. Dabei erreichte der Wind Orkanstärken mit Höchstwerten von rund 162 Kilometer pro Stunde in der Nacht zum Samstag, die an einem Nordseeleuchtturm gemessen wurden. Some winds managed to reach hurricane, strong forces and an all-time high of 162 kilometers an hour recorded on Saturday night by a lighthouse, Leuchtturm, lighthouse at the North Sea. In Hamburg sorgte Zeynep, the name of the storm, zum ersten Mal seit 2013 für eine sehr schwere Sturmflut, die mehr als 3,5 Meter über dem mittleren Hochwasser lag. In Hamburg, Zeynep has caused a severe storm flood for the first time since 2013 with 3.5 meters above the average high tide. In anderen europäischen Ländern sorgten die Stürme nicht nur für erhebliche Schäden, sondern auch für Tote. In other European countries, the storms have not only caused severe damages, but also caused death. In ganz Europa starben insgesamt 13 Menschen laut der Nachrichtenagentur AFP. In all of Europe, a total of 13 people have died according to the news agency AFP. In England, Polen und Tschechien waren zeitweise Hunderttausende ohne Strom. In England, Poland and the Czech Republic, hundreds of thousands were without electricity for some period of time. Zeitweise. Okay, and the second news topic. Was ist eigentlich die Aufgabe des deutschen Bundespräsidenten? What is the job of the German Bundespräsident? Okay, so here, just important for general knowledge, Bundespräsident is not the chancellor in Germany. That's a separate person that has some influence into the German government, but they're not the same people. Yeah, so we have den Bundeskanzler or Kanzlerin. In the past, it was the Kanzlerin. And we have the Bundespräsident. And we are talking about the Bundespräsident. All right, let's continue. Der Bundespräsident in Deutschland hat anders als in Ländern wie zum Beispiel den USA die Aufgabe zu repräsentieren und nicht zu regieren. The federal president of Germany has, compared to other countries like the US, the duty to represent Germany and not to govern. Frank-Walter Steinmeier wurde am Sonntag, den 13. Februar, erneut zum Bundespräsidenten gewählt. Frank-Walter Steinmeier was re-elected on Sunday, the 13th February, as the federal president. Obwohl er nicht regiert, ist es dennoch ein wichtiges Amt mit viel Verantwortung. Even though he does not govern, he still has a very important office. Zu seinen Aufgaben gehören unter anderem, some of his duties are, amongst others, das Unterzeichnen von Gesetzen, die vom Bundestag zuvor beschlossen wurden. Signing some laws that were before decided by the Bundestag. Er schlägt dem Bundestag den oder die Bundeskanzlerin vor und er nennt auf deren Vorschlag die Bundesminister. He proposes the candidate for the position as Chancellor and he appoints the federal ministers. Löst im Fall der Fälle die Regierung auf und ruft zu Neuwahlen auf. So whenever the situation arises, he can suspend the government and call for re-election. And the last news topic. Deutsche werden aufgerufen, die Ukraine zu verlassen. Germans are being told to leave the Ukraine. Aufgrund der sich zuspitzenden Situation in der Ukraine ruft die Bundesregierung alle Deutschen, die sich noch im Land befinden, dazu auf, es jetzt zu verlassen. Because of the worsening situation in the Ukraine, the German government is calling on the Germans to leave the country immediately. Eine militärische Auseinandersetzung mit Russland sei jederzeit möglich und deutsche Staatsangehörige können nur mit einer sehr begrenzten Unterstützung rechnen. A military dispute with Russia can take place any moment, and German citizens can only count on a very limited support. Die Lufthansa und alle Fluggesellschaften, die zu ihr gehören, streichen wegen der Spannung ab Montag, den 21. Februar, einen Großteil der Flüge in die Ukraine. Lufthansa and all its partner airlines will cancel a majority of the flights to the Ukraine starting on Monday, the 21st of February, because of the rising tension. Die regulären Flüge in die Hauptstadt Kiew und auch nach Odessa werden bis Ende Februar vorerst ausgesetzt. Allerdings bleiben Flüge nach Städte wie Lemberg im Westen der Ukraine bestehen. Regular flights to the capital Kiev and also the city Odessa will be cancelled until the end of February. However, flights to cities such as Lemberg and the west of the Ukraine will continue. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, the news part is for you to learn German, in like listening to German and understanding what I'm saying. If you want to practice speaking, then join my 10-week program. You can find all information at expertlygerman.com, but it's a great program for you to get your grammar and also your speaking ability in German up to speed. So I wish you a great rest of the day. Cheers and bis bald.